Does anybody have any idea about who or what this is?
I don't know, but I'll bet I never asked to look for a can opener.
Now you face the Shredder.
The Shredder?
I'm all the way up. All the way up. I'm all the way up. I'm all the way up. Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up. Exclusive.
What up, guys? Your boy Jackie Drip Mode, and welcome to 2021, guys. I know I have been MIA because I actually took a very long break, and now I'm all refreshed and ready to get to work. So today we're in my man cave, and right behind me you see my Ninja Turtle collection because today's dial is Ninja Turtle related. Now before we get into the dial, I want to say thanks to Xavier for commissioning me to do this project, because this is a project I've really been wanting to work on for a very long time, and now finally I get the opportunity to work on it. So today's diorama is going to be inspired by the scene from the Ninja Turtle Part 1, and that is the rooftop scene where the Ninja Turtles are fighting the Foot Clan and then you finally meet the Shredder. So that's what today's dial is going to be about. It's going to be inspired by that scene, and the reason why I say inspired because there's going to have some limitations. It's not going to be an exact replica, but it's definitely going to feel like that scene, and that's what today's goal is going to be about. Regardless, it's going to be an awesome project, guys. So let's get to it, guys. So here is what I created for the rooftop. Now this is accurate to the movie. I was watching it and literally understanding every single aspect, and now now I understand. Now this is too big. This is way too big for my client's request. But definitely by understanding this space, I can actually now work down from this. It's a bit more scaled down to the size that he needs, but also to just kind of be able to appreciate the figures and focus on what you really see in the movie, and that's really this back wall and this corner here while they're fighting. Alright, so it's pretty big. I mean, imitate the scene right there, pum. And then when they're fighting, you got them right here. As you can see, it's 21 by 21 by 24 inches, so it's pretty big. Giving him enough space to be able to imitate different scenes on the rooftop, like them fighting the foot soldiers, him fighting Shredder. You even have Splinter and Shredder. So next is just gonna be first magnetizing everything, making sure everything really connects really well, and then start going into it with carving those details. So what I'm doing now is that I'm actually trying to get my proportions right, and right now I'm working on the windows. Next up is we're going to be doing is indenting the in-betweens of the bricks. Now I use a different technique, and I use as my wood solder tool. Now these wood solder tools are really cool because they have different tips. You get these at Hobby Lobby, by the way. And one thing I love about this the most is that it has a temperature knob. So it has low, medium, hot, and really hot. So I have it on low. It's gonna burn. And I have it on low so it doesn't burn too much. See how they're getting deeper? So it's a really good tool. I highly recommend it. Obviously there's a lot of different things you could add to it by like chipping the sides like old, and chipped. You can add some cracks. Cut some foam to mimic the little electrical box. But there's a little detail in the middle. It's a pin. It's gonna help me put it on the wall. So next up, we're gonna be doing these pipes that go on the roof. You know, they let out steam and whatnot, but I want to be able to, you know, have it stand, but also have it magnetized. So I'm gonna be using this screw right here, and I'm gonna glue the inside. Okay, and then just screw in there, and voila. I'm not gonna, you know, gesso it and paint it. But then I'm able to do is I'm gonna be able to magnetize it to the roof. So I'll have it like that. And there you go. Next up is I'm gonna be making a AC unit. A good boy of mine from Texas Toy Museum, he has this fan for a 3D printer, and he was like, yo, you can have it. I was like, yes. I'm gonna put that in here. This is perfect size, actually. Great is for sewing. I use this for like the Freddy Furnace style. I decided to actually cut it the size of this thing, and it would actually be perfect. Perfect. Look at that. Alright. Get that part shaved off. I smooth it up a little bit more, but look at this. There you got it. Obviously I gotta glue it down. I gotta paint it, but beginning steps of AC unit here. Alright, so this is what I'm debating. So I got some balsa wood, and there's this I want to say aluminum like tape or roll or whatever, but it has really nice patterns, and I can use this as that mold that goes around the top frame of the rooftop. And there you go, guys. That's the molding for the top of the roof. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to be building a molding for the top of the window, and that's this one right here. So to get to this point, what I did was that I actually cut a strip of this metal strip, and I cut it in half. Just start hot gluing the bottom part. This top part like this. Next up, get some balsa wood, measure it, we cut. And boom, it's done. Boom. This video is pretty prop heavy, and I'm experimenting like crazy. And as I'm looking at the reference of the ladder, make my life easier and use straws. And squeeze it in there, and so now it works. So I'm gonna be using hot glue. Get another straw and basically cut a whole bunch of these little steps, and then hot glue them. Figured it out. And what I did with the ends though is that I actually super glued some regular screws, you know, and I'm using small magnets to keep it steady. Okay. But look at that. Alright guys, so this is 4 days. 4 days of cutting, scaling, figuring it out, magnetizing, then carving and shaping things out. But there was a couple challenges, a lot of problem solving, but I love those type of projects. So yeah, now next up is we're gonna start priming. And what I've been using a lot that's really effective is Mosh Posh, but mixed with black acrylic. Alright, and that will be your prime. So we're gonna prime the whole thing using black Mosh Posh and then go into the painting. The video, this is the top of a roof, and the roof is kind of like a shingle. So it has a little bit of texture. So I was thinking about using the stone texture finish. I sprayed it real lightly to give it that texture and then prime it all over again. Boom. Here you go guys. This is what it looks like when you use that spray. So it sprays bits of whites, bits of grays, and it actually is textured. And that's gonna be exciting. And I'm also here just still painting all little details, and then towards the end I'm gonna work on the windows. The bricks. Now I usually like to work with spray cans just because it just takes care of an area a lot more faster as a base coat, and then I can go into with details. So as you can see, I already started masking all the areas that I don't want painted. So I'm gonna be using this wine color, red wine, and then I'm gonna be using orange, supposed to like lighten up the red to look a little bit more like bricks. I'm looking at the reference. The plaster, it kind of has more of a warmer touch. So I'm going to be using Warm Buff as a foundation for those walls that are treated nicely. And then once that base coat is applied, then I could add, you know, the different washes that's going to make this wall look old and dirty. Now, as you can see, it doesn't look consistent. It doesn't look perfect, and that's on purpose. It really makes the building look older, like it hasn't been retouched in a long time or maintained in a long time. It's going to contribute to when I start staining the wall. Alright, so let's focus on the bricks. Now, basically coloring some of the individual bricks, and then when you dry brush it, you bring it all together, you know, just to kind of give it some variation of just different color bricks. And once it's dry, we could go into the dry brushing and the washing.
I think I know what I'm doing.
Far be it for me to criticize a man with a...
Alright, so I got a big brush, and I want to just do a very light dry brush, very light.
DJ Tweezy.
Now again, for me to achieve the look that I see in the film, there's something that we have to add. We have to add washes. So I got two different types of wash. I got a black wash, obviously. Start mixing some of this olive green, Spanish olive green, and I'm thinking a little bit of a brown, and just have it just fall. I have the wash falling between the cracks and let it take its course as it's falling. natural drip. Look at that. Look at that right there. Gonna let it sit there dry and then come back to it. Got ledges now. Gonna work on the concrete of the side panel of the building. So I want this to look like concrete, so just dry brushing some of that. Okay. Now again, with the washing, it'll calm down some of that brightness if you find it too bright. Alright, so next it's time to now paint the window. So I'm going to spray paint it black. I'm going to remove the glass. Spray paint it black. Alright, there you go. And then just dry brush it white. All dry brushed. Now I'm just going to insert it on the wall. Alright, so I got a couple AC units, so same thing, prime it, base color it, then add the details. And next up is the ladder, and the ladder, I'm gonna start off with silver, tab it, and let's see. Yeah, I think that'll do the job. Yep, the silver looks legit. Alright, so now I'm working on this wall and like shingle sheets for the rooftop that goes to it, but it could be something like this. Alright, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use electrical tape and I want to cut the bottom. Okay. Alright, not that bad. Now I want to stain it like I've been doing with the other walls. Alright, so I got these little switch boxes. Really cute. Get some black wash with some brown. And let's stain this guy. Alright guys, now the final touch is the rooftop. Earlier what I did is I sprayed this rooftop with a granite texture finish, so when you touch it, it actually has like little pebbles, right? And so I dry brushed it to expose them more, right? But also a detail I want to add is, so they were fighting on a wet surface. So I'm gonna do a little bit of resin, just a real thin layer, and just spread it so that it constantly looks like it's wet. So So I got my A and B solution. Gonna mix them. Pour it. Okay. So now that I mixed it, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna just put it more in the middle, cause that's where it's mostly concentrated. Like you have a little puddle in the middle. So now with a regular hard, little cardboard card or something, like a business card or something, just spread it. So now you can see the reflection, giving the illusion that it was raining. It's gonna be awesome. Alright guys, so here's the final tip that I have here. Probably one of the final touches I want to add to this diorama before I expose the reveal. The scene in the movie, it's wet. The floor is wet, but also the buildings are wet. And you can imitate that by using either different pigmentations, or you can add a gloss. There's one that I found out from a friend of mine that he's in the Gundam community, and he exposed to me Pledge. Cleaning Pledge. This is for your floor, right? To make the floor shiny. I actually applied it to this piece, right? And I want to show you the difference. Here I don't have anything applied, but over here, when things get wet, obviously they get darker, but also it's giving me a wetness. Just apply it just like how you would with painting. So as you can see, look at that. It looks wet. It looks wet. And guys, once it dries, it doesn't come off. So I'm able to use it for the foam to get this look. So yeah. So now, off to the review.
Now you face the Shredder.
The Shredder. I got him. This guy's good. You gonna think? Where's Splinter?
Oh, the rat it had a name.
You lie!
Weapons. Now your fate will be his.
No! Splinter!
I will finish what I began with your ear. For when you die, it will. Without honor.
Ta-da-da-da. Here you go, guys. Here's my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle rooftop, inspired by the 1990 movie. I mean, it was just fun just to rebuild this scene, but I want to say something that it was challenging because I had to do a lot of homework. Watched the movie inside and out, looked at the cards, looked on references online, people that were visiting locations and whatnot, and finally I was able to just understand this scene more. We cut it off up to here. There's actually way more on this side. There's a water tower, there's a skyline, and there's a hallway back there, but it would have been too big for my client. So I just focused on the area where we focused the most in the movie. You know, this is where they battle it out, this is where they fight, this is where your eye is always looking at. So, but yeah guys, now what I want to do is I want to remove the figures and take this apart and show you guys Alright, so there it is without the figures. It's actually quite a few pieces. It's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces, and then a lot of accessories. The walls. So this is the left wall, has a circuit breaker, has this panel, has this broken wall, and a little bit of the edge. So we're gonna start off with this wall, and then the right wall, and then the one with all the windows. And we're gonna magnetize it. Then we got the floor, right? And there's some magnets here. So these magnets goes over here. So, boom. The right side of the building has no moldings on the sides. And then we got the front panel on the left side of the building. Then we got the ladder, where it's magnetized. Okay. Then we got the roof divider. Alright. We have 2 thin pipes. Those go on the magnets in the back. We have a bigger pipe. This one's not magnetized at all. This one just goes. Then we got an AC unit. That one goes here. Then we got some bricks. That goes right there. Got 2 chairs. One goes next to the AC unit. The other one goes in the corner. Debris. Got some wood. Got some black pipes. And got some black tapes, like trash. And we're gonna just put it right there. Alright guys, and there you go. That's it. This is the Ninja Turtle rooftop. And first I want to say thanks to Xavier for commissioning me to do this type of project. I was looking forward to it. 2 is also glad to be back from my long break. Guys, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, learned something new. Please hit that like button, write a comment, and if you haven't yet, hit subscribe. Guys, I'll see you guys later. Peace.